better place. You know, all those things are goals. So I'll leave you with my mantra. I offer the best from the best by the best. If you try to embolden that into your system, try to embrace it and become it, the only thing you want to do is the best. And that's it, period. That means the best of everything that the earth has to offer, the best of everything that your body has to offer, the best of everything that your mind has to offer. You'll be on top of your game if you think like that, if you walk like that, if you talk like that. Take a look at Zion. He's the best of the best from the best. Take a look at him. You can see how look. I'm very impressed with what he's been able to do with that mindset, what he's been able to change in his life because of that mindset. Change is the most fundamental thing in this universe. You must always be changing. And if you're seeking the best, you'll always change. There's that's guaranteed. You'll always change in order to match the best. Not even match it, because even once you think you've matched it, there's actually something better. Heaven is not a limit. The best is not the limit. You have to go beyond the best. Beyond it. Think about that. Anyway, I'll leave it to you guys. And really enjoy it. Cyrus, Jamie, I give the mic back to you. Thank you very much for allowing me to have my say. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much, Calm. I mean, you gave a lot of good information in there, and I loved you talking about the optimum health thing, right? I mean, I wouldn't say peak health, right? But I mean, you want to be in the best health you think you can be in, right? I mean, I think that's so important is to, when I look at back a year ago to how I was, I mean, I went through a big weight loss change. I started noticing it in my face and my body and the way I started doing things and being able to do more and spend, play more with my daughter and not being winded and things like that, right? It's so much changed. And I started noticing it. And it was something where I was like, you know what? This is a great feeling. I want to keep it going. So when you start seeing those things and that the positive changes happening to yourself, you want to keep those things going and you realize how important it is. So thanks again, Calm, for all your, your opinions and your thoughts on today's topic. Definitely appreciate it. And you really kicked
Yeah,
this off the right way. Thank you.
I really like your input too, because those things that you mentioned, those are the best things in your life, you know? All those things you've indicated, those are the best things in your life, and you're pursuing it. So continue, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Um, All right, let's keep the conversation going here. We got our next speaker up here is going to be Cyrus, I believe. I can't see past the comment, but I believe that is who's next, right? Yep, we got Cyrus, and then we'll give it to Zion to introduce our next two couple speakers as well. So, but before we even do that, let me see. I see Spencer said a comment on here. He said, to take care of myself, I like to invite a friend for a cup of tea or play a game of pickleball with my club team. Yes, I have yet to really get into pickleball. I actually have pickleball rackets, and I've never played it really. I have been hearing things about pickleball, that the amount of eye injuries have been happening in pickleball. I don't know if that's just chance, but
What's pickleball? What is pickleball? I never heard of it.
it's kind of like a modified, well, I don't want to say a modified version of tennis, but it is kind of like that, where you have two rackets and you have the ball, but it's a different, it's a kind of a harder ball, and the racket's about like this. It's like this big, so it's not the full size of a tennis racket, right? So it's kind of like hitting it over a net. It's a smaller net, and it's back and forth, and it's pretty popular. Look up videos on it. It's definitely a thing that's getting more and more bigger as the years go on. And there's even pickleball clubs and places where you can do pickleball. It's becoming a big thing. So, yeah, so that's pretty much how that works. And, Ivan Spencer, I don't know if I've seen you in here, but good to see you in here. I'm glad you're here. And then Jeremy says he's listening in. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. And Kenneth says you finally showed up, homeboy. Yes, finally showed up. There you go. Kind of telling like it is. And Roxana says, I keep falling off. I'm driving. Well, look, be safe. First off, as much as we want you to be on this call, and we appreciate your dedication to being on while you're driving. Put the audio on only. Don't worry about seeing our smiling faces. Just do audio. Okay. So there we go. So let's go ahead and bring it over to Cyrus, the Whisper Boy himself. Go ahead and unmute your mic and share your thoughts on today's topic. Cyrus, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
All
Can
right.
you hear me, guys?
How are you?
Hi. I feel great. Feeling great. Thank you so much. How are you today, Jamie? Okay.
Doing great. Thanks so much, my man.
Good to hear. So, hi everybody. Zion, Annie, Calm, and Jamie, and the rest of the amazing people in our group tonight. Do we have Arlewin on the stage as well?
Not currently. Not
Coach.
currently.
Yeah, we got Coach David. Sorry. Yeah, we got Coach David. Good afternoon to you as well, Coach. From Wrexham, United Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. Regarding taking care of yourself, there's something that one of our friends said in one of the earlier shows today. Was it Sean? I think. Yeah. He's a great philosopher. This guy. He said there's a lot of successful people. It's like they're running away from something. If I'm not mistaken, Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said something along them lines that made me think. It made me think. People are mostly running away from not necessarily problems. People run away from undesirable outcomes, and that's why they feel anxiety, because they want to control the outcome, something that hasn't happened in the future yet. And basically, that is something that causes a great deal of stress for people. People run away from an outcome that they do not want. Who wants to get ill? Nobody. Nobody wants to get ill. And people who get ill, they want to get back into that healthy state that they used to be, and they love and miss. An example that Calm just provided a few moments ago.
I want to get ill. That's kind of like a rap thing.
Mm.
Being ill. I think it's a shortcut from chill. Instead of saying the chill, you have to say you're ill.
Ah, got you. Got you. So basically, people run away from one undesirable outcome, right? And they try to find themselves in a more kind of calm and familiar space, not knowing that the next one, because they haven't gone into that space with enough studies and enough preparation, they're going to find themselves in the next undesirable outcome again. So as an example, how many people know someone who keeps going from one abusive relationship to the next? And it makes you think, oh, this person, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 years ago, they were with another abusive partner. What happened? So they keep repeating those mistakes. So if you do it once, obviously everyone's fallible. Anyone can make a mistake, right? If it's once, it's a mistake, yes. But if it's twice, that tells me you've made a decision. If you make it 3 times, that's a habit, honestly. And if you make it 4 times, that's you. That's me. That's our character, right? So running away from a problem and an undesirable outcome is not necessarily growth. Some people say, "Oh, I am working on myself by running away from the problems." They just keep posting stuff on social media from different moments of their life, saying, "I am working on myself. I am working on my peace. I am appreciative of my peace." But in reality, they're running from one problem to the next, and if you stop a relationship and start going to the gym, and you keep yourself kind of engrossed in gym work, is that growth or is that avoidance? Because um, peace that depends on distance isn't peace, it's just avoidance, right? So you're avoiding the problem, so you have to face it. Unless you face a problem, you can never resolve that problem. If there is a fly in my room and I catch the fly, put it under an upside down glass, do I still have that problem? Well, yes and no. I don't have the problem because it's not flying in my space, but have I got peace of mind regarding it? No. As soon as I remove that glass, that fly is going to start flying again. So if you resolve an issue, it needs to be a permanent solution, and that needs something that needs to be studied. It shouldn't be and can't be something random, because it's going to come back around and bite you in the backside again. So starting a relationship, starting a relationship, not because your business has suffered or failed, is a good relationship. Don't start a relationship because your business has failed to find solace and find comfort in the presence of another human being. The business needs attention, right? So you need to go back to your business. Don't start something new until you've resolved that issue. Don't stop going to the gym because you started a relationship, right? Balance is key. Do things for the sake of doing those things, not because you want to avoid something else, because the problem remains the same. And most of the things that we suffer with is because of an image we're trying to maintain. So I want to maintain this image of a podcaster, and you want to maintain that image of the author, and anything else that isn't congruent with those images, we push them outside. But at what cost? We need to ask ourselves, right? Maintaining that image is not more important than your own mental health. So you adopt roles in life. So in this society, we are given, or we pick roles. Some people are priests, some people are podcasters, some people are presidents, some people are CEOs. Those are roles. When you go back home, you are you again. It's like you take your clothes off, right? And wash yourself from all of those, all of the discomfort of those roles. Those roles cost our mental health. So please remember, you are more important, and your mental health is more important than the role that the society has given you or the role that you have picked up yourself. So balance is key, and avoidance is not solution. Thank you, guys.
Cyrus, well said. Balance is key. I love hearing that. And thank you so much for your patience as we bring you up on stage. A lot of good information there. A lot of good thoughts from everybody so far. And it's always a pleasure having you come up here and sharing your thoughts. So
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And balance is key. You're right. I talked about that when I was talking about things, right? You got to have that balance in your life. You know, you can't just put it all towards one thing and stress about certain things. You got to have that balance between everything you do. And then, that's how you keep your machine well oiled, right? So lots of good information there. So I'm going to pass it over to Eni so he can introduce the next two people. He'll read some of the comments here also, and then we'll bring up our next couple of speakers here. So Eni, go ahead, my friend.
Thank you so much. And I love to share, Michael. You paint a picture that only you can paint, my friend. Very deep. And I think we get the idea of the importance of self-care when you describe the consequences of, even if we just relax or ignore our bodies for a while. There's a saying, your body never lies, right? Your body never lies. So we do need to learn to listen. So you make me laugh when you said you got a body of a 75-year-old. See, when I was younger, this is how I know I'm old. There was a time when I was younger, and I used to hate getting up on ladders. Right, when you're decorating, I did a lot of building work when I was younger, right? So going up on a ladder hurts. You're like, damn, that really hurts, right? I'm getting old. You know, we didn't mind doing things on ground or no, I'm bending down. Now, Michael, I don't like bending down. I don't like going up on ladders. Everything hurts. That's how I know I'm old. That I am old. You know, but that's life, right? You know, we need to learn from your lessons, my friend.
Are you sure
Spencer
you're
says,
75? Because you are you're the same age as I, right?
yeah. But,
51.
but you know, when I'm decorating these days, I feel like about 110. Never mind 75. Because everything hurts,
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah. I get you. I get you.
You know, I tell you. Spencer says, meeting with you, Zion, with you and Zion again is exactly what I need to recharge. I'm off to play paddle now. So there you go. I'll paddle tomorrow, not right now. Thank you so much, Spencer. So Luz, I see you. So Luz all the way in Netherlands. Glad you're here. I was talking about you earlier, Luz. What's her name? Maria Simonetti, I think, in our book to business room earlier. She's in the Netherlands as well. So we are working on some scheme to come to Netherlands with our, with our mission and our mission to spread positivity and to also, give our friends a voice, right, in person. That's the difference. Kenny's been good this time. So I don't like being ill. I haven't been ill in ages. Let's keep it that way, Super Kenny. Keep it that way, right? Nibble on my delectable list of Kenny. I'm not as good as Jamie, right? I'm gonna nibble on my delectably, scrumptiously, deliciously, edible, tasty, good homemade super cheesecake, and you never get ill. It's true, Kenny. Like Kenny's been in the same job for the last 65 years. He really has. Same role, quite happy doing what he does. He obviously doesn't get ill that often. Linda, thank you so much. I'm grateful that I left a very toxic workplace. I said for the wrong reasons, but realized later on that my mental and emotional health mattered so much more than my paycheck. Sometimes, Linda, many of us realize it's far too late, right? We think we want stability, we want continuity, even though we know that a place is not necessarily good for us. It's never too late to pivot and to reinvent ourselves and to do what brings us the most happiness. Never give up. So true. I think the most important thing I think I mentioned it when I spoke earlier. Finding your joy, and being able to live our day in peace. And literally, they say rest in peace. We can also live in peace. You really can. We have to, right? Otherwise, you will end up resting in peace. Live the peace now. I think that is so. I can find living our joy is just so important. And Spencer said I had a flu jab recently, and the very next day I was struck down with a very nasty side effect. I'm not sure I'll be getting another one next year. COVID-19 is still making the rounds, it seems. So, again, listen to your body, my friends. We have to, right? Hello, for me, welcome. So balance is key. It's a hard one. I wonder what you think, Mr. Z. Balance is a hard concept. Balance, so just 50-50. I think, prioritizing ourselves, I think, is necessary. Balance is a hard thing for us to find. I'm sure my friend Lillian agrees. She's a mental health wellness expert as well. Lillian, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while, my sister. Where have you been? But you're back, right? You're back. That's a good thing. Welcome. So glad you're here. Okay, let's go to Coach David. Coach, thank you for being patient, my friend. Please share with us the importance of how we take care of ourselves. Coach, you're still muted. 3, 2, 1. Coach, are you still there? Oh no, we've lost Coach David. Hopefully he'll
put me in, Coach.
Coach, what's happened? Wake up! Wait, I'm sure you're not sleeping. You might have left his device or his computer for a second. So Kenny says I'm currently employed in my job for over 37.5 years now. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness in that. That's why Kenny's got a whole list of these sayings written down, right? They're tapped out already. Just copy and paste is what Kenny does. But it's all right now. We enjoy your use of words, Kenny. So it's all good. Coach, have we lost you really? Ah, that's such a shame. Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, Coach! Yay! We found you. We found you. Please, I'm glad you're back. Please do share with us.
Coach, I thought
guess-
Manchester United has kidnapped you.
I'm here.
Cool. The mic is yours, my friend.
Yeah, the
So,
network bleeds a little bit. Well, in this world, what is constant is there will be pressure, there will be stress. In this world, there are several moments when things don't turn out the way we want. At the end of the day, nobody can add a cubit to his or stature by worry. You can't by any form of worry or pressure solve a pressure problem. For you to decompress, you've got to be at a higher or stronger level in your mind if you want to decompress or you want to, at least solve a problem and place your name behind that problem as the one who solved it. You have to be able to be detached enough to observe it without any judgment and also to embrace who you are enough, but you also don't lose your identity. Those are the two major extremes you want to play about. But at the end of the day, all the aces are in your hand. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you.
thank you so much. Of course, in keeping with our positivity topic, this is within our control. That's the important thing. Many people suffer stress when when we believe that we're not in control of anything. Now other things control us. And so that can be quite scary. But I think I like your point. Stress is when we choose to worry about things that don't necessarily go the way we want them to go. That's just life. Jamie, I think is it Jamie said it? Who said it? Oh, no, I don't know if that was Jamie or Cyrus. That life's about change. It might be calm. Life is about change. We have to learn to embrace and just face up to our reality. I said earlier, deal with the issue. Deal with what you need to do. We can't just let worrying.
I'll take the change comment. I'll own up to that one.
Yeah, it might have been you, my friend. I'm sure it was you. And so, I also like the idea of decompressing, Coach. We actually need to spend some time letting go, just being. How many times do we let ourselves literally think nothing, do nothing, and just enjoy the moment? That's decompressing, right? Of course, there's other ways that you can decompress by talking to a therapist, by sharing some of your pain. I'll say, but deep down, saying, I think, Jamie mentioned practicing gratitude every day, for example. That's a good way to decompress. Say some of us here meditate every day. That's just you and peaceful time with you and God, if you want to call it that, right? So I think we need to learn to just give ourselves those times in the day, those moments where we just are. Yes, the world might flip upside down afterwards, but it's fine. Until then, I'm just going to concentrate on me and now, and no worries, no thoughts in my head, just at peace with myself. If I could leave us with one thing, it'd probably be that. Find your peace, my friends. So even when there are people on your case, and there's going to be people on your case all day, every day. Don't get me wrong. Before we came on the show, Jamie and I and Mr. Z were talking about how people like to put on you their problems, their issues, their stresses, their character or lack of character, as you call them, Mr. Cyrus. Now, literally, let's not take those. If it's not your problem, don't carry someone else's baggage, right? But you're going to get into a heavy rucksack of stresses that are not yours. and they could well break your shoulder. Don't do that. Let it go. You know, deal with your issues and let others deal with theirs. You know, sometimes just say, no, thanks, I don't want it. And I think we'll find a lot of peace from that, from just saying and just being that way. But thank you so much, everyone. Paulette, we'll see you now. Now you're here, I'm at peace. When Paulette's in the room, you know, our world's back to normal, right? You know, welcome, Paulette. So we're great to have you here. So keep the faith and trust God, and to then let him lead you. Let go of what you cannot control. Now be wise. You know, Paulette, you have a point. I think this is where spirituality, having faith in something, comes in. You know, I say it's easy to try and be all knowing, all doing. I think, you know, when you look at people who are, whether they're religious or not, you know, I think spirituality, you know, believing in a greater power than you can tend to give you peace of mind. You know, that's one of the benefits. So thank you so much, Paulette, for sharing. I say we appreciate you that you join us beginning, middle, or end of our shows. If anyone who's joining us late in the day, so with Team Replay, so do watch the show, and of course, do connect with people here, connect with each other, connect with Jamie, connect with us on stage, right? Anyway, I'll stop talking now. Mrs. Z, I'll let you close the show out. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eni. Thank you, Jimmy, Coach David, Carm, and Saras, and Dr. Professor Rosanna. Yes, she was here earlier, but she said she was driving, so she couldn't speak. And everyone in the comment section. I tell you, it's been a wonderful conversation so far. If you are just joining us, you can go back and watch the replay. So much nugget was shared, and so much personal experiences that we all can resonate with was shared. And one thing that you can take home, it's, you know, self-care is a choice. You have to choose. You have to choose self-care. It is very, very important. It's a choice you have to keep making every day to look after yourself. And also you can keep the balance. So as much as you are busy or you can do things, there is need for us to keep the balance, which is very, very important. You know, this whole conversation is just a reminder and to bring an awareness to let us know that even as you're getting busy, as you have a lot of things to do, you have a lot of plans, just make sure that your self-care is part of it. Make sure you are looking after yourself, because when it's done from a place of good health, I tell you, you can do so much more. You can be unstoppable. You know, you can do great things far more than you can imagine. So let's place priority of taking good care of ourselves, because you are important. You are valued. You know, you are part of the mission. You are part of the dream. You are part of the goal. And making it a priority is something that we should not take for granted. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined live, and for those who have been watching the replay, welcome. Feel free to share. Feel free to tag somebody, and feel free to, you know, invite someone and say you need to watch this, just to remind you of the need for them to embrace the self-care, you know, which is very, very important. You know, next week is another time, and it happens to be the last Friday of the month of October. And you know what we do every last Friday? Our gratitude experience. So next week Friday is our gratitude experience, where we are coming to be intentional about gratitude and share with the world the things that we are grateful for in the month of October. You know, a lot might have happened during the course of the year, during the course of the month. You know, every last Friday, we say we are taking a pause to embrace gratitude, to count our blessings, and just to share and inspire people the need for us to be grateful. It's all about spreading positivity to every corners of the earth, one person at a time, because we believe that in positivity, there's always endless possibilities. If there's anyone in the comment section you're not connected with, please feel free, reach out to them, connect with them, start a conversation, because a whole lot can happen by just a simple conversation. With that being said, we want to say have a great weekend until we see you again next week Friday.
You might kill Kenny. You might cause Kenny to have a heart attack. Jamie, come on now, answer his question.
I kind of
you're leaving that question up for a little bit.
I was eating chicken and broccoli and some barbecue sauce with that. So there we go. So that's what I
There
was
you
eating.
go, Kenny.
I was
There
hungry.
you go.
And
Thank
Kenneth,
you, Jamie. Thank you.
Kenneth,
You made,
Ken
you
just
made, you
sent
made
me
Kenny's day.
yeah, Kenneth just sent me a message on LinkedIn showing me a picture of his sweet potato pie cheesecake. So it looks pretty good. He's a great cook. I know he makes a lot of the stuff himself. So it looks pretty good, Kenneth. Thanks for sharing that and making me hungry. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Again, of course, Rosemary, we do want to welcome you as well. Thank you for joining us. Self-care is very important, and the gratitude experience is a show not to be missed. I agree. I don't know, Spencer, some questions I don't know whether we have an answer for. We might do. You know, if you were to become disabled, how would you overcome difficulty of self-care, which can be incredibly complex? You know, normally this sort of questions stump me, right? But I guess, for all this while, Spencer, I can imagine the loss of abilities can be hugely distressing. But maybe it's not loss of abilities. Maybe it's having different abilities, right? That's my thinking is simply, what can you do? I have to look at myself and say, what can I do to help what can I do to care for myself more, right? And then what do I need help with? And where can I get the help I need? So it's a complex question, of course it is, but I think all we can do is do the best we can in terms of what we can do physically. I don't think many of the things we talked about, the psychological things, the emotional things, are beyond a person's disability's reach. But maybe somewhere we must find healing to come to terms with our circumstance and our situation. That's the best I can say. Jamie, do you have any idea, any response for Spencer?
I don't, honestly. I guess I haven't really thought about this. You're right. It can happen to anybody, anytime. And I would hope my partner would help take care of me too, obviously, and my daughter help where she can. But how I would take care of myself, I haven't really thought about that. You're right. It's scary to think though, because we're all just one little thing away from possibly changing our life, and I feel like we do have to be prepared and think about that. So Spencer, I think you gave me a good question to think about, after this call.
Yeah, I mean, I like how you say, Jamie. We're literally one trip away, from banging our head and having a TBI. I say we're one car accident away, one something happened on the streets I wouldn't expect, I didn't want, and suddenly we're now having a condition, a disability, an issue that we would never imagined. It's there's a part of me thinks, Mrs. E, if you want to add to it, please feel free, right? So
yes, I wanted to add something to that.
Go for it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Spencer, for the great question talking about being disabled. And to be honest, when you are in that place, there are so many things you cannot do for yourself, and that's the more reason why what you cannot do for yourself, you can allow people to do it for you. Having people around you to help you, to support you. For me, it goes a long way when you find yourself in situations like this. Because at the end of the day, even as we talk about self-care, not everything we can actually do by ourselves. Right. So we will need somebody to help us do certain things. You need somebody. So in this scenario, you are going to rely more on people helping you do things compared to when you are not disabled. So my advice is find people who love you genuinely, who want to support you, who want to help you, and allow them to help you, to embrace self-care. Allow them to help you to do the things you're supposed to do in the process of self-care. Not forget, we said self-care is a choice. It's a choice you have to make. Then other people help you complement it. So they don't make the choice of self-care for you. So it doesn't matter whether you're disabled or not. It's a choice you have to make first in your mind to say, you know what? I need to embrace self-care. So in making the choice, then other people come in to complement you and to help you achieve your goal. So that's my response for that. I hope that helps us.
I like that. I like that. See, I think the temptation is to, for me anyway, to always think if someone has a health issue, maybe we can't. Maybe we can say to them, don't dream as big, don't be as positive, because I think that is just barking up the wrong tree, right? Like, I like what you said, Mrs. Z. It starts. We see whoever you are, we still have to prioritize our self-care. For people with disabilities, Spencer, it must be a case of finding how can we do it? How can we live the life of joy that we deserve to live? How can we, do what to have control over our lives and find the joy and do all the things we talked about, healthy eating, exercising, having good relationships, and trying to live stress-free. But we must. I don't think any of us here is going to say because you have a disability then you're doomed. That can't be the case, right? That's how I think. Thankfully, we will agree. We must find a way forward. Look, thank you so much, everyone. Do enjoy your weekend. I'm off to Milton Keynes. Don't ask. I'll tell you about it next week, right? But I'm off to Milton Keynes, so I'm taking my baby with me, so I should be able to join next week, I hope. But thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you all. So do enjoy your weekend, and then of course. Celebrate with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with global.media.com.